January 2013. A high school gym in Georgia. Students are walking to class when someone notices something strange. Inside a rolled-up gym mat, there are two shoes sticking out. When teachers pull the mat open, they discover the body of a 17-year-old student. He is upside down. His name was Kendrick Johnson. And what happened to him inside that gym would soon become one of the most controversial death investigations in the United States. Who Kendrick was? Kendrick Johnson was a 17-year-old student at Lowndes High School in Valdosta, Georgia. Friends described him as energetic, social, and athletic. He played basketball and football. Teachers remembered him as a respectful student who stayed out of trouble. To everyone around him, Kendrick was just a normal teenager with plans for the future. But on January 10th, 2013, everything changed. The discovery that morning. Students entered the school gym for class. At first, nothing seemed unusual. But eventually, someone noticed something odd in the corner of the gym. A large blue wrestling mat had been rolled up vertically and stored standing against the wall. Inside the opening of that mat were Kendrick's legs. When staff unrolled it, they found him stuck inside the center. His body was upside down. Authorities were called immediately. And within hours, investigators began trying to determine how he ended up there. The official explanation. Investigators quickly formed a theory. They believed Kendrick had climbed into the rolled mat, trying to retrieve a pair of sneakers. Students at the school sometimes stored their shoes inside the hollow center of these mats. The theory was that Kendrick reached inside head first to grab them. But once inside, he became trapped. With his arms pinned and his body upside down, investigators concluded he died from positional asphyxia, essentially suffocating because he couldn't free himself. The death was officially ruled an accident. But not everyone believed that explanation. The family's doubts, Kendrick's family immediately questioned the findings. They argued that the accident theory didn't make sense. They pointed out that the gym mats were heavy and tightly rolled. They also raised concerns about the surveillance footage from the school. Cameras existed in parts of the gym area, but there were gaps in the recordings. To the family, the investigation felt incomplete. They began pushing for further answers. The controversy. The case soon gained national attention. Independent examinations of Kendrick's body raised additional questions. His family claimed that during a later autopsy, some of his internal organs were missing and had been replaced with newspaper. Something they argued was deeply suspicious. Officials stated that organs can sometimes be removed during the autopsy process and preserved separately. But the disagreement fueled even more public debate. Social media and online communities began analyzing every detail of the case. Alternative theories. Over time, several theories emerged. Some believed the accident explanation was correct. Others suspected Kendrick may have been assaulted before ending up inside the mat. However, investigators repeatedly stated there was no evidence proving homicide. The case was reviewed multiple times by authorities. Each time, the official conclusion remained the same: accidental death. But for many people following the story, questions still remained. More than a decade later, the death of Kendrick Johnson continues to spark debate. Some believe the investigation reached the correct conclusion. Others believe important details were overlooked. What makes the case so disturbing is the image at the center of it all. A teenager, found alone, inside a rolled gym mat. Was it truly a tragic accident? Or is there something about that day we still don't understand? Even now, the case remains one of the most talked about school mysteries in recent history.